For the BAOS, we can see Renekton that has been playing constantly, and KAOS are going to take the blue side as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've not seen too much aggression from the bot side, specifically from KAOS in support pick, right? And I feel like a lot of the agency of bot lane comes through your support pick, right? And so far we sort of seen it play like Braum and Tag or something, not exactly the most aggressive bot laner. So yeah, maybe if you mix that up, that's how you can really instigate the KAOS.
For me, it's a little bit difficult because KAOS are on the blue side, and yeah, there are a couple of like S tier peaks, especially you can take on B1. But I feel like when you're going up against the Los Ratones, you probably definitely want some sort of counter pick to get control, especially through that bot side of the map. Like, you need to keep Crowny and Reckless pinned in their lane. However, if you give Crowny and Reckless red side with the plethora and types of champions that they have, particularly for Reckless as well, when he plays a lot of Enchanters, Bard, and all that, it just becomes really difficult to get that priority through the bot side of the map. Plus, let's not forget that things like Misfortune, Jhin, and Varus, Crowny will take complete control of the bot side of the map. So, KAOS, please don't show us another B1 Ezreal that other teams have been showing us, please.
Aggressiveness, they need to take that point in aggression versus the bot line specifically to try and at least fan out, because that KDA is ridiculous to look at. 93. That's something to highlight. I know it's only day one, and obviously that KDA is inflated, but this is how they have been playing. Okay,
we're staying flexible with our first pick here for KAOS. This could obviously go mid or bot lane. That could be piloted by any two of those players. So far, you know, not showing your hand too much and keeping Los Ratones guessing. It's a relatively aggressive pick as well, right? If you stick it in mid and you pair it with a good strong ganking jungler, then you know you can make some good plays. You always have priority in that mid lane as well. And if you go bot lane, it's an easy kill lane too. It's going to be the Azir for Nemesis. It's 3 games for Nemesis so far and 3 games on Azir. He certainly knows what he likes to do on that one. And the Vi again on Rats. It's a flex. Yeah, not showing a lot so far in this draft.
You know what? I would rather see BAOS play the Vi, like anytime, any day. Vi together with Azir just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, especially if you're playing against Tristana, most likely towards the mid lane. Azir is picked into the Tristana, you can push heavily as well. And with the Maokai lock-in right here, I think this solidifies that this Tristana is going to be playing in the mid lane. Okay. We're not going to talk about hovers until it gets locked in, because this could be like a very heavily tanky side of the map for Los Ratones, and then the Blitzcrank becomes completely nullified. However, again, I will stick with my opinion that this Tristana is most likely going mid to pair up together with Maokai. Could potentially be looking to punish Azir in that mid lane. As I'm saying this, a blind Cho. You know what? I love that. Ban BAOS champions, play BAOS champions. Keep trimming it away.
Yeah, we saw Value's already played this once, so probably going towards that top side, but again, it is technically a flex, so obviously you can go into the mid lane. Nemesis knows that because he's played it mid lane too. Yeah, we're literally just answering the Rats draft with you know, with
more
their
flexes,
kind of champions,
please.
It's crazy, yeah. Again, we've seen BAOS play Galio too. We saw Nemesis play. I mean, obviously, I don't. Well, I mean, this could be
triple
Reckless's,
flex.
like,
versus triple flex.
I think Azir is pretty solid in mid lane.
Yeah, Azir is.
Oh yeah, okay, true.
Like,
sorry, yeah, Azir.
Azir's probably going into that mid lane, which I would.
I mean, you're saying this. Have you seen Axemark Azir top?
Well,
Don't
do you
give
think that's kind of BAOS's style of champion? I mean, all it has to do is wave play quickly and BAOS will pick it, honestly. So yeah, I mean, maybe. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting draft so far. Yeah, getting rid of the aggression down bot side, I think, is smart.
Viana could be the next one. Could be the next target. That would be the S tier picks in terms of support. Alistar is still there, and Reckless is comfortable playing it. We still don't know where this Galio is going to land, but we know BAOS has a keen taste towards it, and especially if you're playing versus a Sho'gap, that would make sense.
I feel like Los Ratones have picked their entire top side of the map here. Galio makes a lot of sense, particularly into the Cho'Gath if you want to put him there. And a lot of the Cho'Gath Tristana are flexible, but I feel like specifically seeing the Maokai, it kind of gives me the vibe that the Tristana might hover around the mid lane more. However, the Vi plus the Galio makes a lot more sense if this is a jungler plus solo laner kind of match right there, because he can follow Vi around with the ultimate later on. So I feel like what's clever here for Los Ratones is pick probably your AD carry on R4 and counter pick support to ensure that you have a pushing bot lane.
Alrighty. Crowny is going to keep up his KDA gameplay.
Yeah.
If this gets locked in. So far, it's just a
third Jhin game in a row and third Azir game in a row. If the game broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I guess so, but that's not fun. That's boring, dude. That's boring.
And what you paired up with
What?
next?
Winning is boring? I wish I could have that in TFT, man. I wish I could get so bored.
From what I've seen on your stream travel, you
don't even stop.
You have a lot of fun. So let's.
We're here for NLC, boys.
Violence.
All right, Ray, do something crazy. I mean, I'm honestly not a huge fan of this one, to be fair. Like, it's good at jumping forward, which is kind of the identity what we've got from KAOS so far. I want to see more jumping forward, Leona or something, like just go bam, you know, all that's good stuff. But bro, you got so much magic damage right now for KAOS, like so much magic damage, and you're playing into Galio, right? You're playing into Galio, probably another tank for Reckless too. I don't know. I feel like you're limiting your options here by just having your Tristana as your only physical damage.
I'm so confused. How in the world will Riot play into Azir, Galio, Jhin kind of fistfights Kai'Sa in lane? It's a very short range AD carry. Jhin has the brute force in the early game. The Braum being locked in here sort of solidifies the pushing bot lane as well for Los Ratones, and I feel like KAOS really shot themselves in the foot by picking that Kai'Sa. I feel like this is not an all-in composition by KAOS. I feel like the second you see Vi plus Galio, you play something that can possibly peel and bait the Galio plus Vi ult and then play with distance. However, if Riot can find some sort of backline access while everyone is diving forward, maybe onto his teammate, sure. However, I really struggle to see how a Kai'Sa plays into Azir. Like, this has been the problem with Kai'Sa and Kalista, sorry, because they're very short range, they run into the Sun Soldiers.
Yeah, maybe it's for self-peel. Maybe it's that to survive against Vi, but I think that's... it looks like it could be a little bit tricky, honestly, for KAOS to execute that against what the Rats have locked in.
The Rats are looking for 3 games in a row to get another W on their back so they can get that first seed, or at least until they face Verdant. Let's see what happens next. But KAOS might pull a surprise. Now, chat, I am truly sorry for what I'm about to do. Please cover your eyes. The casters will take over from now. Jamara, and it's middle cut. It is middle cut.
What did we do? What did we do? I'm not going to lie, Adrian. I feel like that was targeted at myself. And Archrum, I just want to say, chat doesn't know this, but you knew this. It was actually knitted by my mum. So the fact that you are disrespecting it is incredibly hurtful. And if anyone's typing anything in chat right now, my mum watches this, so she'll be reading that and she'll feel sad, okay? So let's not have any nastiness going on here. How are you doing, Jamada? It's been too long.
Good. You know, took a bit of sabbatical during the off season, and back now. Wasn't here in week 1. Did catch up on all the action. We had a lot of excellent League of Legends over the last week. This league included, but internationally especially. And I'm here. I'm ready. And we've got 2 very, I think, standard draws for the most part. We do have the Cho'Gath answer from Vayu into Baus's Galio. We will track that particular lane with a lot of interest, I'm sure, just because of how Baus likes to lane out. But for the most part, KAOS, double AD carry comp, Maokai, a lot of front line, some mixed damage as well. I expect them to try and play some front to back. So I'm curious if Rayhim might decide to play some kind of poke variation or mixed damage variation of the Kai'Sa to maybe swap things up. They were talking about the range, of course, of the Azir and Jhin to try and match that as a Baus. Looking for a little bit of early information here on this blue buff.
Oh, well, there's the Shackles there. Where is Vi? Cho'Gath has headed towards the lane, so nothing too crazy going to be going on at level 1. And if we're talking about the KAOS draft, looking over at Los Ratones, there are no surprises here. This is pretty stock standard, and I think Los Ratones have come into this game with the mindset of we don't need to do anything special. We expect to beat KAOS. We want to do it as reliably as possible.
Yeah, it's about as Los Ratones draft as it gets, right? Velia's on the Vi, on an engage option. Reckless got R5, he's on the counter engage slash, you know, a bit more of a reactive champ. And Crowny this time around, not quite on a carry, but a slightly more facilitative pick. Pretty sure I butchered that one, but legit to set up for some plays later on into the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jin is always talked about as this sort of facilitating marksman, but that fourth shot can hit hard if you get rolling on this champion.
Hey man, we all saw Rusty Sniper last week.
Yes,
right?
we did. It was 20-something kills, man. It was absolutely ridiculous.
28. It was, if memory serves me right, it was the 3rd highest individual kill game of all time in pro play. Vayu trying to interrupt Baus's proxy here, but alas, like many top laners, isn't quite able to interrupt it. Baus should probably stick around for that next wave. Maybe he wants to reset for an item, but has a pretty good idea that Shackle wouldn't have interrupted that, but goes back to reset anyway.
Yeah, I think one thing that I really like about the introduction of this Cho'Gath into pro play, it's not at the forefront of the meta, but it is a pick that I think is seeing play. You're taking this into Baus. Like, this guy knows Cho'Gath. Everyone's talking about the Sion, but he's been playing big HP bar champions in the top lane that do a little bit too much for absolutely donkey's years. So Vayu not really going to be able to catch Baus out by surprise. And if you look at the inventories, because of that proxy, Baus has been able to go back to base, pick up that Dark Seal without expending the TP. So advantage in terms of the stats versus his lane opponent.
Yeah, lovely bit of tempo acquired. Velia able to sneak away that bottom side Skull Crab, despite not actually having that mid lane priority. We did see Baus is disconnected on the screen.
Yeah,
so
no, this feels weird, wild, magical stuff happening on day 2. And we're on game day 2 for both of these teams as we are back into game. Decent trade coming out from Vayu there.
Not too bad. Of course, the one thing, as Rhea did actually have to burn this flash off screen, so successful gank from Los Ratones. It doesn't look like they actually burned anything. Sniller might be in the same boat.
Oh, yeah, he's got that hep up. Oh, he's flashing under the tower!
Oh!
Not quite able to get the auto off to kill Velia, but that's a little bit of the creativity. That's a little bit of the chaos that we were hoping to see from these guys.
Yeah, he had that trample fully stacked too. He just needed the auto to go off, but a little bit unfortunate there. Velia just said that initial gank didn't blow any summoner spells, but Velia looking for a little bit more. I'll get punished for it. And that's a nice job in turning that one around. The reset was also delayed a little bit, so Shkal already back out on the map on his camps. A little bit of a tempo lead. We'll see if that maybe leads to a dragon or something along those lines. The issue more being now that KAOS' bot lane does need a reset at some point very soon.
I think when they head back to base, the inventories are going to be filled with items that aren't quite as shiny as the ones that Los Ratones are going to be picking up, and this has been a fairly consistent factor as big trade there in the mid lane. The pitcher in pitcher, Zorian taken down to almost single-digit HP, but Los Ratones have been able to consistently find leads out of their bot lane, even if they're not actively making massive plays on the map. And once we've all had a break and had a kick out, we were able to see it's pretty significant CS differential already in the bottom lane, as convergence of mid-jungle duos around this Raptor camp, and Los Ratones will back away.
Just a raw smite there from Shkal. No smite Q. Won that one over. Clearing now for a trade.
Risky business here. He does have that level 6 though. There's a lot of burst out of the Tristana at this phase of the game. Maybe if he had the flash, he'd have got that one more auto and ulted to finish him off, but not the case. Still killless in this game as Grubs are onto the Rift.
Yeah, that trade is probably going to get KAOS all 3 of these Grubs. Velia also has to path down towards his camp, so maybe they can turn it into a Dragon for Grub situation, but Ratones are almost certainly going to be behind on tempo, as even Vayu gets to snack away on a Grub, actually. Saw that on the kill feed, so going to get himself the unique stack away from the minions and monsters. Secure all 3. Here we go. Dragon for the Grubs trade likely. And it doesn't seem like KAOS have any interest in trying to look for that specific cross map.
Yeah, and I quite like this from Shackle, actually. He's on the top side. He could have gone and tried to run after the bosses. Looks like that's a little bit of what he's doing here. But he recognises that spending time trying to kill this guy isn't necessarily what he's been doing, but he is still spending a lot of time in his topside jungle as the rats take down the drain.
Yeah, he was a little bit worried about his blue buff maybe, but not going to be stolen away. He might get interrupted again as Reckless is just playing bodyguard here. His tri-brush, nothing to really earn. It's going to be a smite from Shkal. His topside camps are respawning again.
Where is he going?
In between tier 2 and 3, mate.
7 minutes in. Of course it is. Oh, actually, action in the bot lane. Reckless having to flash away defensively. Crowny, though, with the barrier. Getting the better end of that trade. But I will say, Stiller and Rhea, they have been stronger performers for KAOS, and it's looking good for them. Zorin gets the autos off. Back interrupted. First blood for KAOS versus Los Ratones. Answered almost immediately in the bot lane.
Good thing it's not the first patch of the year, isn't it? Really good job from Crowdy and Reckless. I'm sure we'll get a replay on how they managed to catch out Stiller. My best guess would be he was trying to hold the wave, as now this could get a little bit worse.
Shackle, don't walk forward there. Locked up, knocked up, taken down. And it's the second kill of the game for Crowny.
Surprised they're not going for the Kai'Sa here, but perhaps expecting... Oh, hello, Zoiran. Well... Yeah, flash.
I feel like, Jamada, what we have witnessed in real time here is a small glimpse of hope being taken away from KAOS almost immediately. Technically first blood, but they are in a pretty significant deficit this early on.
Yeah, a lot of gold just went into Crowley's back pocket there. 2 kills and plate on top of it. He's going to make it to his first item quite quickly. He's already got the swiftness boots too, so very, very happy in his state at the moment. You can see, take a look at the minimap, Tristana's going to come and match the Galio now, but Baus doesn't really care, though the Spidey senses are tingling a little bit. And he's buffered it perfectly. He just gets to walk out with Phase Rush.
I swear, man, how many times has Phase Rush prevented death for this guy?
Too many times, I'm sure.
Too many times. Yeah, switch up in the lane assignments, though. Like, obviously, Zoran's coming up to answer that wave. Do you reckon it's going to be staying like this for a long time?
Not too sure, but I think it benefits Los Ratones right now. You have the Galio in the middle of the map. Has more access to ultimate targets. So any skirmishes around the middle of the river, Dragon Grubs, should almost always benefit Los Ratones, as they should be able to overload the one side of the map significantly easier now with this matchup.
Well, yeah. Positioning himself towards that mid lane as... Oh, he was going to get taunted here, but... I think Shackle is going to be the target. Pops the flash, gets the Nature's Grasp, but he is out of there. Phase Rush actually connecting, forcing the investment. The ultimate from Velia, but the tree is felled regardless. 4 kills, 10 minutes in for Los Ratones.
Yep, look to turn this into grubs, I think. Los Ratones, Velia should cross over towards that side of the map. They've got the top side prio as well. Galio, but no. And he's going to take a little bit of a detour. He does have a whole quadrant of the bot side to pick up, so favoring that ahead of trying to even out the grubs for the time being. And it does give him an opportunity to kind of cover this bot side too. Maybe Shkal runs immediately back down there as Baus. Putting a lot of pressure on Vayu here. Kind of surprising at this point in the game. You'd expect Cho'Gath to kind of be able to just power through some of the damage with all of his sustain, but quite been the case as Zoiran trading onto Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis is going to go in, pop the ultimate, and yeah. Nemesis had more damage, but neither ends up going down. Velia flashing forward in the topside jungle, and Shackle is having a really, really bad time. Trouble, what do you think of I now?
This is why I was talking about the lane assignment a second ago. Baus able to match that skirmish going on. I mean, to be fair, if he was in the top lane in this instance, just because of where Velia had flashed to, probably would have been able to have done the same thing, but nonetheless, able to help his jungler secure that kill. Carl not having the best time right now, really being bullied out as Baus didn't phase rush that time. Under the tower.
Under the tower.
Procs it now.
Yeah, sure. Well, he's dead. No. No. Oh, flash knock-up. Vayu gets the jump down. That's nearly Houdining himself out of there. Vaya's not going to be able to escape. Reckless slams the ground. Picks up a kill on the KAOS ADC. And Los Ratones really turning the screws in. Well, every single situation it feels like. And KAOS, they just can't keep up.
Well, we're about 12 minutes into this game. I think it's going about as we expected so far. 3,000 gold lead. 2 dragons. So Los Ratones is putting a lot of priority on the dragons this game. And they definitely could have secured those grubs earlier on. Now, Crowny is going to be forced to flash. Yeah. Still very easily could have, you know, Q flashed him. Looks like he did have the combo up into a headbutt backwards, but belly up in the area. Doesn't look like they want the play. They know there's nothing really to be won now at this point. Good discipline.
I think that's what we've seen. I think KAOS are looking for a play themselves. Crowny with no flash under the tower. Snilla tanking it up with the Alistair ultimate and a shutdown secured onto the enemy ADC. Got to be careful now, as whilst they are 3 men here, he's got much more of a health bar. Snilla very, very low, gets ulted onto, and I think the Vi might just clear up here. Jamada. Raya, though, with the stacks of the concussive blows, as Zoran is coming to help out. Nemesis is here as well. Only ends up being a single kill for Velia in that exchange.
Oh, it's going to get a bit awkward there. Shakal's Bramble Smash actually put Velia in auto range over here whilst he had those concussive blow stacks on, but did have both summoner spells, so I think he probably would have been alright with the amount of health he had too. Probably thought Los Ratones would get a little bit more out of that, but not a bad heist from KAOS considering how bad the start of that play looked as Zoran.
Yeah, bro, he just doesn't have the damage to compete with Nemesis, but he's got a few more friends. The second shutdown of the game for KAOS, another one, possibly with gold distribution they're not too happy with.
Got to Snilla, but probably happy to just take the kill. See what they can move on to the rest of the map with, potentially. Raya is in a little bit of a difficult situation. This 4th shot not going to be used because they see the members rotating down. There's that Maokai.
Really like that positioning from Shackle. Going to catch out Crowley. Here comes the root. Here comes the smash. Here comes everything else from KAOS. And my, oh my, we've got some bloodthirsty tanks on this KAOS side, but it's nice to see them making plays. They don't think they're out of this game.
Oh, not yet. And we were speaking about, just before we came into the game, you know, or I think it was during the pause actually, wasn't it? How you want to see teams, you know in your head, matchup is going to be a little bit lopsided. Make things happen. Don't be scared to throw stuff at the wall and just see what sticks. And so far, KAOS have continually done that. Picks in the mid lane, picks in the bot lane. Trying to make things work where they can. All right, still at item parity for the time being. Across the board, and that's really the thing we have to track. That dragon as well, that 3rd dragon. That ocean dragon is going to be really important. Need to be on time for that Los Ratones. They get that 3rd dragon, that's when you start to think in the back of your head, that Ocean Soul is just looming. Yeah. 22, 23, 24 minutes in the game. And Archons on the bottom side of the map too. Man's couldn't get any more stressful alongside that.
And you look at the composition, you just think, this is so great at controlling those entrances, controlling KAOS's movement towards those big objectives. Snilla moving towards Reckless, but quickly decides better of it. Uses the ult. Get out of CC by a little bit of time, but I don't think he's got the support coming that he needs. Knockout comes through. Wow. They're engaging onto the rest of KAOS. They've been baited in as Raya has to ultimate defensively away. Fire rampaging through this squadron, and the flash away is not in time. It's another kill for the Vi. Baus now trying to get involved in some action, getting the double taunt. Raya tagged up. Here comes Crowny with the kill, and KAOS are falling apart. Double kill for the Los Ratones ADC. Ace across the map, 16 minutes in.
Nemesis' solo kill in the side lane turns that into a full clean ace. Just an excellently played fight from Los Ratones. KAOS tried to disengage, but it just takes a little bit too long. Let's see how this 1v1 play. It's just standing on the sand soldiers. There's
not been winning those.
No.
This whole
No,
game, he's not been winning those, and finally Nemesis has the damage to actually finish him off. And we had another situation where we've had a few good plays from KAOS, building a little bit of hope, and Los Ratones turn around and say, absolutely not.
Just backhanded every opportunity. 20 seconds till the Ocean Dragon. You can tell where the priority is from both these teams. KAOS will get the Herald. Los Ratones will take the Dragon almost no doubt. Actually, they're crossing over mid. I wonder if they're happy to just try and deny any possibility of them getting an objective at all. It seems that's the case. They know they're far enough ahead at this stage in the game. Velia's massive. We spoke about how maybe Los Ratones, they want to wait till 2 items, but Velia could be that one kind of rule break exception. Play around him when he hits 1. He's already at 2. And they're expensive items at that. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
Nice under a Triforce is trying to deny KAOS now out of this area. They know they can. Oh, Velia.
Oh, yeah, it's not connecting onto anybody, but here comes the Galio for the engagement. KAOS have actually managed to buy a fair bit of time in this situation. They're just waiting for the damage to show up. Raya getting in there. Zorin on the side. Nemesis here as well. It's turning into a full 5v5, and you know that Los Ratones are going to win those every single day of the week. Not quite Nace this time around, but 4 dead bodies is enough. Potentially not for Baus, as he was looking for even more. They have really stamped their authority on this game.
See that in the bottom left hand of your screen. Raya's face. He knows the situation they're in.
Yep.
Big fat smile. Just here to enjoy the ride now, I think, at this point. Gold lead. Turned into a 10,000 gold lead quite quickly. Not sure we're a little bit shy of that, actually. 9,000. But I'm sure this Herald will do a pretty good job of helping Los Ratones along that way. Mind you, the 3rd Dragon is still up on the map and available. So we'll see whose hands that actually ends up in. Whether KAOS maybe managed to sneak this one away or not, but taking a look at the minimap, I've just got a sneaking suspicion not going to be the case.
And if you're KAOS, I think to a degree you can be happy with how things went early. Nice dodge away there by Zorin. You landed a couple punches, but unfortunately, Los Ratones are just Mike Tyson. And you can try as much as you like, but eventually they're just going to hit a little bit harder. KAOS though have found themselves an outnumbered fight here, but Velia is very quickly going to change that, as once again Shakel is left all on his own, and once again it'll turn even worse for the rest of his team. That's 3 kills there from Los Ratones. Baus looking for a 4th.
Oh no.
Dragon going to be easily claimed, Raya. Oh no, he's just going to get run down between the towers. Nothing that the Kaiser can do. A lot of damage being put out, but not enough. Los Ratones with another exceptional fight. They are taking this game serious. They want to win this. They want to put this to bed as fast as they can.
Yep, quick game if they can help it. 20 minutes in. 11,500 gold. Wonder if this is... No, I'm going to say... Can't remember when the meme started, but there was the elusive 20k gold difference meme. And I'm pretty sure it did start with Mr. Los Ratones, team owner himself. Could this be a game? You know, I feel like there's a fair few structures still up on the map. There's a Baron to get, an Icon to get, and plenty of kills. And it just feels like KAOS don't quite have the damage to really answer out.
Yeah, socioeconomic situation is pretty dire for them right now.
It's not fantastic. Here's the Icon. It's just going to make things... That squeeze is going to feel a little bit worse. Once the level differences start to rear their head even further. I mean, you look at the jungle. It's about a 2.5 level lead. Carl will, I'm sure, get to a camp sooner rather than later. There you go, 11. But the Icon pick up on all the flowers. That will turn into a true 3-level lead in a moment. And again, just looking at all those XP leads just makes that feeling of hopelessness not go anywhere as... Oh, poor Raya.
No. Oh, no. He's trying to play League of Legends, which was his first mistake. Still is trying to save him, which is a mistake that he's potentially going to get punished for. Yeah, it's just very, very unpleasant right now to be One of those 5 players on the blue side of Summoner's Rift right now.
Oh boy.
Not very much you can do. Shackle now going to be the next victim. He's trying to do something. FaZe rushing away. Is actually able to escape with his life, but you have to feel that's going to be a temporary reprieve.
Yep,
As Lost Ratones are going to be gunning for him in a moment.
Seeing this Herald charge, but bot lane's also broken. Inhib, I think, this is probably going to take as well. Mid lane, gone. Bot lane, gone. Topside's the only place still kind of left. Well, oh my goodness, no, pan back to the top lane.
Oh,
ooh.
Still getting a little bit silly.
Yep. Well, Middlecott, where do we go from here?
Well, I think Lost Ratones might have more money than sense at the moment.
We are getting there. Hey, 15,000 got 5k more gold. They might actually end up doing it. I don't think it's unreasonable to think about.
Is there 5k worth of gold that they can get left?
I mean, minion waves, right? Jungle camps. 1.5k from Baron when that spawns in 2 minutes time. Maybe there's 2 more fights in it and then the rest of the structures. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's in there. I think they can squeeze it out.
It does feel like a slightly inorganic scenario that we're proposing though, Jamada.
What, 2 more fights? Like a fight at Baron, maybe a fight at Sol.
Two more fights is bold, my friend.
I mean, 1 more fight is the realistic scenario.
That's what has to happen.
Yeah, that has to happen. Oh, Baus is, he's got a shutdown, so he's not helping the 20k gold kits.
He really isn't. Well, he might be. He might be. I think he might be. Oh, he's also shackled. That's not who you were aiming for. Isn't able to escape. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was an attempt.
There was an attempt. And there have been attempts from KAOS in this game, but the ones from Lost Ratones have just been that little bit better. Velia on a triple kill there. I'm not sure if Penta's in his near future, but he's going to keep fighting for it. Zorin actually healing up. Here comes Nemesis with the save. And the Vi don't even die. Lost Ratones come in to week 2. Business as usual. Sub 25 minutes. Sweep KAOS away.
How often do you see that? Game before Baron even spawns up. Ridiculous game.